Hi guys, this is Crystal, aka Crystal X on IView, and I'm with my very special guest, my IView nephew, IVisionI. Today he's going to be showing you guys how to create a room mesh using meshout. Okay. Okay, so to begin, he started by creating the shape of the room, and he's going to reverse the faces. During this point, he's modeling his room, not sure what he's adding. As you can tell, he's a much faster mesher than I am. Well, looks like he made a staircase on both sides, and he's now adding an entrance and has elevated the floor. And as I've shown you guys in previous tutorials, he's pinning his textures to his wall. And as you guys saw in my tutorial, the way that he did it was he used the red pen first, then the green and the blue. Now he's actually used a slightly different technique than I did for pasting the texture. He actually deleted the past face and copied it. And as my nephew is demonstrating right now, the projecting technique that I showed you guys in the how to paint tutorial. Now, for those of you who don't know how um, to use the unique textures um, to paint your walls, this is the pinning technique. It's the easiest and one of the best ways to do it if you don't have rubies that you've purchased that do this for you. And it looks like my nephew's going to make a window of some sort. Right, and the technique he just did right now is he moved the wall that he previously made and he hit Control on his keyboard and copied it and pulled it back. This is a common technique used to make animated walls, which is actually what I was trying to do in my past tutorial when I was showing you some remodeling techniques that I failed on. And this right here is the proper way to do it. And what's fascinating is that my nephew actually meshes about 10 times faster than this. He's just kindly um, slowing it down for this tutorial, so I greatly appreciate this. And I believe he's coming to an end now as far as modeling and texturing the room. And what he's done is added a avatar into the scene for scaling purposes. Okay, and so the difference in this tutorial and mine is he's using meshout completely to do this tutorial, and he's adding the floor notes now. So for those of you who are unfortunate not to have Merlin's toolkit, this is the way to do it, using meshout. And all he did was copy and pasted the floor node that he placed and repositioned it. And he's now adding standing nodes. Or what do you call them, the landing nodes, for where the avatar is going to land within the room. And I do believe he's doing additional modeling to the room. And he's using the projection technique that I mentioned in my second basics video. And now he's back to the pinning technique. And luckily he only had to texture this once. That's because he grouped them and made them into a component. And this made it where he only had to do this one time. And what he's doing now is he's removing all the bones that were in this room. And by bones, I mean anything with nodes, like the floor nodes and the standing nodes. Don't quote me on this, I'm not sure yet, but I do believe he's going to make this into a reflective room. And remember, I'm watching this live. I've never actually seen him make this room before, so my commentation may or may not go along with it. Okay, I was correct. He's actually making a reflective room. And what he did was flipped it in the blue direction. And he's now painting the bottom half of his mesh. And this is very similar to the same technique I use. However, what I do is, as soon as I copy my mesh, I just paint the whole thing black, at least for the part that I copied, and then I flip it and erase the ceiling. Alright, so right now he's going to export this onto iView and show us how it's going to turn out. And he went to rooms and he's surviving from 10860. And now he's going to configurations and adding the XSF. And now the XMF. And he's going to texture the walls. I'm going to pause the video while he does this so that it won't be too extended. Okay guys, so I'm back. What happened was he forgot to add the camera dolly to the room and it ended up turning out sideways, so here he's gonna fix that now and show you guys. And as you can see, his room came out perfectly. And remember the bottom of the room that he was painting? Well, in order to make this room reflective, he's going to texture that part black, which I've shown you this in the simple reflective room tutorial. And what he's going to do now is use an unsaturated gray color to make the floor see-through, and he's going to check use blending. And now you guys can see the floors, and it's a nice reflective room. It came out perfectly, and he's going to show you the window that he created. It's actually a layered window. And we actually get to see an animation too. And as you can see, we have the nice rain animation going on. I'm really glad I got to do this tutorial and watch my nephew mesh. He's actually one of the best meshers I know here in iView. And in his short tutorial, he's already shown us so many different techniques. And this is just like a really simple room. And in a short amount of time. And he's going to demonstrate furniture that's on it. And this is from a previous mesh that he's made. Maybe one day I'll be able to record him making a furniture piece. And as you can see, it moves fairly easily within the nodes that I placed. Alright, so I want to thank you guys for watching. This has been a Club Bubblegum Inc tutorial. And I'm Crystal X, and you're watching IVisionI. And we'd love to bring you guys more videos in the future. So hit subscribe and check out Mesh Depot, which is IVisionI's group. Also check out Club Bubblegum AP. And soon you can find our joint group. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I'm Crystal from CBI, and I'm out.